Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, dear believers. All the praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us thank Him for the opportunity that He has provided us to be here today in obedience to our duty as believers, and that is to attend the Jumah. But there is an appropriate spirit that we should approach Jumah in. It should not be approached ritualistically. Just because I am an adult Muslim man and my duty is to attend Jumah, we should approach Jumah with a spirit of expectation, expecting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us with something special, something unique, something that we need in order for us to be successful as believers. So alhamdulillah, there's an ayat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that teaching benefits the believers. So we should seek to benefit from the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to His last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the knowledge that He has deposited in His creation to help us guide and navigate our lives as believers. And the life of a believer is not like the life of the average person who Allah has not invited to right guidance. So alhamdulillah, we are thankful and we feel blessed. We should feel very blessed to be here today. It is appropriate that we always begin by glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. High above Allah is everything in the creation. High above everything in the creation is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is nothing like Him. We testify that nothing in the creation is worthy to be worshipped except Allah alone. And we say this repeatedly, often, because we want to develop a habit and make that a part of our thinking, make it a part of our being. All praise from everything in the creation exclusively belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Said in His book that He has only created jinn and men that they may worship Him. We cannot share the worship and dilute the worship by sharing the worship with something else. We have a duty as a part of His creation to show Him gratitude. It is our duty as believers. It is our duty as being a part of His creation to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the life that He has given us. And especially as believers, those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen out of humanity. There is a statistic that suggests that 1 out of every 5 human beings on earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen to believe. So if we are with 5 people, and you are the believer, it's that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chose you out of the 5 to be rightly guided we should be grateful and we should demonstrate our gratitude in how we conform to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked of us. We seek His guidance and His protection outside of the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is only misguidance. There is only misguidance. There's the illusion that we can be guided to truth from some other influence, from some other source. But in reality, the reality is that if the guidance is not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is misguidance. This is not complicated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has simplified the religion, has simplified our role as believers. Outside of truth, what is there but error? This is simple. If it's not the truth, it's error. There is no gray areas and yellow areas and faded areas. It's right or it's wrong. There may be an explanation, there may be a justification, but it's either right or it's wrong. Allah has not complicated our role as servants. Alhamdulillah, the Prophet Luqman alayhi salam was considered or is considered to be one of the wisest men to ever live. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with profound wisdom and knowledge. When we consider the extraordinary volume of knowledge he had at his disposal and his great love that he had for his son, out of all the knowledge, out of all the things he could have told him, he could advise him on affairs of finance. He could have advised him on moral issues. Son, stay out of the red light district. Avoid an environment that is not conducive for your Islamic growth. So many things he could have shared with him out of the volume of knowledge that he possessed. But this is what he chose to say. And we have to understand the value of it because of the level of knowledge, the level of wisdom he had. He selected this one thing to share with him. He said in Surah 31, ayat 13, "O my son, join not in worship others with Allah, for false worship is indeed the highest wrongdoing." Lying is wrongdoing. Adultery and fornication is wrongdoing. But false worship, according to one of the wisest men ever to exist on earth, is the highest wrongdoing. So look at the favor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on us when He has introduced to us proper worship. Alhamdulillah. We should all be ecstatic with joy. Because if false worship is the highest wrongdoing, then proper worship must be the highest form of righteousness. Allahu Akbar. It is Allah who has chosen this ummah exemplify from the application of the principles that he has given us an example of the highest righteousness. Alhamdulillah. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this guidance. And we thank him for the opportunity that he has provided us with to benefit from the best in the creation, to benefit from the best in his creation. It is a supreme favor and a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has invited us to this beautiful way of life, the principles of Al-Islam. The shaitan has suggested to some of us, some members of the Ummah, that these beautiful principles is a burden. And we have examples of men and women abandoning the principles of Islam for something less. In my naivety, I couldn't believe that that was possible. But there are statistics that show that there are members from the Ummah. I don't know whether they're fake or not, but it's alarming to me how someone can go backwards to something less than the best. This is the ultimate. You cannot get anything better, any principle higher than these beautiful principles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with. It is the ultimate reward for the human being, for the proper management of our lives. Usama bin Shadeed says, we were sitting in the presence of the Masjid of Allah so quietly as if birds were perched on our heads. Nobody had the courage to open his mouth. In the meanwhile, some people came and asked, among the slaves of God, who is the dearest to him? And we all need to know this. We need to ask this question. We need to know the answer. Among the slaves of Allah, who is the dearest to him? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, one who has the best moral character. This was the answer. The slave that is dearest to Allah is the one who has the best moral character. Another tradition has it, they ask, what is the best thing given to man? What is the best thing given to man by Allah? He replied, the best moral character. Abdullah bin Amir has reported, I have heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as saying, should I not tell you who amongst you is the most likable person to me? This is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Should I tell you who amongst you are the most likable person to me? And who would be nearest to me on the day of judgment? he repeated this twice or 3 times. The people requested him to tell them about such a person. This is what he said. He who amongst you has the best moral character. So we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, and his chosen prophet, both saying that the best person is the one who has the best moral character. Now, the next question is, how do we individually and collectively, how do we reach the level in our development that we become the dearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How do we reach this level in our development? How do we qualify to be the most likable person to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We know that if we are the most likable person by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and by Allah, the Creator, we know that we are on the right path. We have been favored. Moral is simply defined as conforming to a standard of right behavior. It is not intricate and sophisticated and complicated to understand that moral is simply conforming to right behavior. In this society, we tend to associate the word morality with some sexual issue. Yes, there is immorality in sexual behavior, but we're talking about just standard right behavior. Don't lie. Don't slander. Don't steal. Don't commit bid'ah. Don't kill the innocent whom Allah has not ordered to be killed. Speak good or be silent. Good, right conduct and behavior produces a noble moral character. But how do we develop these? How do we get to that level? A man's mind can be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. That's the way our minds work. It's like a garden. It's fertile. You plant seeds in the garden, and we plant ideas in our minds, and they produce the likeness of their kind. We have to take on the mindset and the mentality of the farmer. What is the mindset of a farmer? First, he understands the nature of the soil that he's working with. And he knows that the soil, in order to to produce the best crop has to be cultivated. It has to be made ready to receive the seed. Our minds have to be made ready to receive the suggestion, the information, the knowledge, the ideas, the concept. It has to be made ready. How do the farmer approach being selective about what his harvest will be? He can't pray and hope that he will bring out of this soil corn if he has not planted corn seeds. Because nothing will grow except what you plant. Righteousness will not come out of your behavior if righteousness has not been planted in your garden. Your garden will only produce what you put into it. So we have to be selective about what goes into this garden. You cannot expect CNN to produce a good crop if you let it plant in your garden. You cannot let Fox 4 be the farmer for your garden. You cannot let disbelieving principles be planted in your garden and think you're going to get believing principles out of it. Nothing will come out except what you put in. That's how we become selective about our behavior. Is that we be selective about what goes in. Too many believers have been influenced and seduced by false concepts and ideas that is foreign to the beautiful principles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to us. And as a consequence, you have nuts running over innocent people who have not engaged in any political or military conflict. They just run them down because somebody has planted the wrong thing in the garden and their seeds have multiplied. So throughout the world, we have offspring from ISIS and Boko Haram and all manner of nut groups claiming to represent the beauty and dignity of the religion. Because the wrong seeds was planted and the likeness of its kind was produced. Dear believers, do not underestimate the power of influence. I've seen Muslim teenage boys with their pants hanging off their butts. That was not a seed that came from Islam. They following the images of the disbelievers. Peer pressure is not a joke. Within the youth group as well as among adults, that because of the influence in the workplace, we take on the behavior of our co-workers, emulating them. When Allah has guided us and given us the principle that He says, you are the best evolved for mankind. There's nobody can set a better example of how human behavior should be conducted other than one who believes and follows the principles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed and demonstrated in an example of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nobody can do it better if he is true to the principles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed. Well, I've been great unto myself, and I do confess my fault. Grant me protection against my fault. Amen. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear believers, in concluding this khutbah for today, what is the difference between a man who cannot read and one who will not read? What's the difference? Here's a man who has not mastered the ability to read. He don't know his ABCs. He can't put together words and sentences. And here's another man who knows how to read, but he will not. Neither one of them will get the benefit of what has been written, because neither one can take advantage of what was written. We have a similar example in our lives as believers. What is the difference in a man who has been blessed with the divine principles to operate and manage and navigate his life, and don't utilize them, from the man who has not been rightly guided, who do not have the principles and cannot apply them? The consequence for both one is the same. One will, one cannot, and one will not. We have to, dear men and women, dear believers, we have to decide to apply these principles in our life for them to work. They will not work just by recitals. I'm sorry. You cannot recite your way to moral behavior, righteous moral character. You cannot. I'm sorry. I've never known anyone that just recited and they rose to an exalted level of morality. They have to apply what they recite. So, alhamdulillah, in our life as believers, we have to know that we are special. We are not ordinary. We are not ordinary. Allah chose us to be the last representatives of right guidance, of righteousness. We are the last. There will never be another group chosen by Allah to represent the best of His creation. And some of us don't get it. We have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly for this blessing. If we cannot demonstrate gratitude for a little, and we don't have it, we have a lot. We have so much. But if we cannot demonstrate gratitude for it, then what motivation is there for Allah to give us more? If we can guide and navigate our own life, why would we be put in a position to guide and direct others? If we have a problem managing our own affairs, trusted to handle the affairs of others. Even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you are the best evolved for mankind, not from it, to set the example. But killing some people is not an example. We have to be very vocal against such behavior and condemn it and say this is not Islam. Islam condemns the murder of innocent and all things that are not consistent with the moral principles of the religion. We have to be vocal. We have to condemn it in the workplace, in the home, the children. You have to tell your children, son, that it's not Islam. Baby, that's not Islam. Muslims don't kill innocent people just because his name was Abdul Rahim. Shaitan can call himself anything and wear a kufi and a beard and throws. Moral character is a level that we should all aspire to evolve to be pleasing to Allah, to be nearest to the Prophet. And on the day of judgment, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the one with the best moral character will be in his presence. Alhamdulillah. Allah, seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness, cowardice and niggardliness, and being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. Oh Allah, suffice thou us with what is lawful. Keep us away from what is prohibited, and with thy divine grace, make us free from want of what is beside thee. Amen. You come to Salam.